So, welcome viewers, students. Now we are in the second part of that lecture, Key Principles Indian Knowledge Traditions, part second. So, in the part 1, we discussed 6 terminology from ancient Indian knowledge traditions. Here we have to just discuss these terms on your screen: Samvad, Panch Mahakosha, Gurukulam, Guru Shishya Parampara, Upadhyaya, 3 yogas, Ashtang Yoga, 3 karma, and Ashtangik Marg. So, terms are many, but we will try to cover up in a just uh, uh, the elaborative way. I will try my best. So, Samvad, dialogues and discourses. The term Samvad in Indian philosophy refers to dialogue, discussion or meaningful conversation leading to knowledge. Types of discourse, Sambhasha refers to the different styles. 4 formats of discussions, debates or arguments are described like Samvad, Vad, Jalp and Vedanta in Indian traditions. Forms of debates here, you may see that Nyaya Sutra, the debates and arguments are grouped under a broad title, that is Katha, that is called the debate. And 3 types of Katha are: number 1 is the Vada, that is discussion; Jalpa, that is disputation; or the Vitanda, that is wrangling. What does it mean? Katha Sambhash, Vigraha Sambhasha and the Sandhya Sambhasha, Vitand, Jalpa and Vada. What are these? Just we see what is Samvad. Discussion for the sake of coming to an agreement. Samvad is regarded the noblest type of all 4. It is a dialogue that happens between an ardent speaker, ardent seeker of knowledge, and enlightened teacher. Upanishadic teachings have come down to us in the form of Samvad. So, in the Samvad, the cordial discussion takes place. Submission and faith in Guru is primary requisite for Samvad. The sincerity and eagerness of the learner, the humility in his or her approach, and the absolute trust in the teacher. And then some illustrations of Samvad are as follows. You may understand as types of Samvad like Jigyasa Samvad, inquiry based dialogue; Jnana Samvad, dialogues for knowledge; Tattva Samvad, metaphysical dialogues in order to know the reality; then Dharma Samvad, dialogues on righteousness. For example, a Samvad between Mandan Mishra and the Shankaracharya, as the picture is there on your screen. Yes. And then you see another kind of Samvad is Niti Samvad, political and social or ethics. Then Rasa Samvad is there, aesthetic dialogues. Then Tarka Samvad, logical debate; Vada Samvad, truth seeking debate; then Vitanda Samvad, that is fallacious debate. So, the purpose of Vedanta Samvad is not what is the purpose of Jigyasa Samvad. So, the way communicator utilize their energy in order to defeat the person who is your opponent, uh, on that manner it depends that what kind of the Samvad it is going on. So, in Upanishads Samvad, some illustrations are there: Nachiketa and Seeker, Raikava the car driver, Gargi, Yagvalka Samvad. So, these are the different illustrations or categories. Upanishads are the best examples in that category. And in the medieval period also, you see that legacy also continued during the medieval period. Emperor Akbar's Ibadat Khana was the center of such type of Samvad, such type of dialogues were there. Continued legacy of Samvad. Mughal Emperor Akbar established Ibadat Khana in 1575. There you see that people from the different nook and corner of his empire, they used to assemble there, just like we discussed the Baitul Hikmah in Baghdad. In the same way, Akbar established in his own kingdom this Ibadat Khana, where people from different religion used to assemble and they indulged in such religious Samvad or the intellectual Samvad. It was part of his broader religious and philosophical initiatives to foster interfaith dialogue and intellectual discussions. Scholars, theologians, Sufis and saints, rishis, manishis from various religious traditions or the Bhakti traditions or the Sufi traditions, they used to be engaged in discussions on theological and philosophical matters. Dara Shikoh and Baba Lal Das, that is also the continuity of legacy of the Samvad. Baba Lal Das was the mentor of Dara Shikoh, and an intellectual discussion between the Mughal crown prince Dara Shikoh and a Hindu yogi Lal Das during the 17th century it held, and the outcome of this Samvad was the 2 Persian treatises. One is the Sirre Akbar, Persian translations of 52 Upanishads, and another is the Majmul Bahrain, the similarities between Sufism and Vedanta. These are the two books which came as the outcome of this very cordial samvad between the two spiritual leaders of their own areas. Dara Shikoh was the inquirer and Baba Lal Das was the respondent. He was obviously senior from Dara Shikoh. Then the legacy of Samvad also continued up to the time of 1893 when Vivekanand went to Chicago at the World's Parliament of Religions, Chicago, 11 September 1993. Interfaith dialogues, Samvad held there. Swamiji established the views on Vedanta philosophy. Then we come to, the pictures are there on your screen also. You may see Swami Vivekananda is sitting there. This is, these are the pictures from the World Religion Summit held in 1893, a beautiful picture. And then Panch Mahakosha, another term is. Panch Mahakosha normally refer in Nishad in chapter 2nd. They talk about that actually it is the result of the conversation between Rishi Varun and his son Brigu appeared in Upanishad. It is also known as the Bhargava Varuni Vidya because the Panch Mahakoshas are the results of the discussion or the samvad held between these two Rishi and his son. These koshas explain the different dimensions of human experience from physical to spiritual. This is the gradual development from the physical form to the spiritual form. So, actually they are also they may be interpreted as the treasures of knowledge inside your human body to explain the journey of self-realization. Each kosha is a veil that hides the true nature of the self. The outer koshas like the physical body are more tangible, while the inner koshas like the bliss are subtler and closer to the Atma. So, here it is on your screen. You may see the lower part is the just gradually if you move from outer to the inside. This is not gradual movement from lower to the higher, rather it is from outer to the inner side. The innermost kosha is the Anandamay Kosh and outermost kosha is the Annamay Kosh. And each kosha is associated with some of the educational principles like Annamay Kosh. It is concerned with the vocational aspects of education or the vocational development. Then Pranmay Kosh is concerned with your physiological development. It is something regarding the health and digestion system and the physical health and so on. Then Manomay Kosh, it is concerned with your conscience, your emotional aspects, your emotive aspects, your recreational and intellectual development like that. Then Vigyanmay Kosha, that is the rationality, logical deductions, rationalistic development, and the Anandamay Kosha, that is spiritual development. So, we will also discuss these Panch Mahakoshas in detailed in some other lecture. Then Gurukulam is another term. That is that because in ancient India, the centers of education were known as the Gurukuls. They were the ashramas established by the certain rishis and manishis, and students used to go there during the Upanayan Sanskar. They entered into the ashrama and they lived there for another 20-25 years, and up to the age of 25 years they used to spend there, and they spent their entire life of 25 years in acquiring and acquisition the knowledge. So, Gurukulam are the residential universities of that time. Foundational residential schools in ancient India in Vedic period. At Upanayan Sanskar, child was sent to Gurukul to stay there until 25 years of age. Guru Shish Parampara is the peculiar or unique characteristic of Gurukulam. An oral tradition, it was an oral tradition. Knowledge was transmitted through direct interaction and memorization of scriptures. That's why the Vedas are known as the Shruti literature, because they were transferred from one generation to next generation by way of Guru Shishya Parampara. That parampara is still continued. You see in the music and the performing arts by way of Guru Shishya Parampara, it is still preserved and transmitted to us. Also centers of spiritual and moral trainings. But these Gurukulams were not confined only to the ancient India. In modern time, in colonial India also, and even today we find the Gurukuls. Dayanand Saraswati, the founder of Arya Samaj, and Swami Shraddhanand were the pioneers of the modern Gurukul system. Here you see on your screen some pictures are there. Arya Samaj Gurukul School in 1915, and Dayanand Saraswati founded in 1886 Dayanand Anglo-Vedic DAV public schools. Swami Dayanand was the founder of Arya Samaj, and he gave the slogan back to Vedas. Munshi Ram, the original name of Swami Shraddhanand Saraswati, he established Gurukul Kangadi. It is a very renowned medical university even today. At Haridwar, he was freedom fighter and activist. So here is the picture of on your screen. You may see the Swami Shraddhanand Saraswati. He established the Arya Samaj Gurukul or Gurukul Kangli. The picture is on your screen. You may see. Then characteristics of Gurukulam: residential learning. Students lived with Guru. Guru Shishya Parampara, oral knowledge traditions, holistic education, Vedas, philosophy, art, sciences. That is nowadays you call it the multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary knowledge. That is the holistic, all-round development from physical development to the moral or spiritual development. Then moral and spiritual training was there, disciplines, ethics, self-sufficient lifestyle. Then no fixed fees, personalized teaching, ashram system, residential, that is education aligned with life stages, and ashram vyavastha, that refers to the ashram vyavastha is another thing. One ashram vyavastha was there, and what you call that is a student has to live with a teacher inside, that is residence. Natural learning environment, forest, rivers, serene environment, that was the a beautiful place where students used to acquire the knowledge. Then value based education, dharma, seva, self realization, diksha, and so on. Modern Gurukulam in Shanti Niketan, you see Rabindranath Tagore's Shanti Niketan was established on the pattern of ancient Indian Gurukuls. Rabindranath Tagore Shanti Niketan 1901, model of Gurukul, a residential school where nature is the best teacher, experiential learning is the best method. It became Vishwabharati in 1922, a university based on the Gurukul values. So here are some pictures for your delight. You may have it. Guru Shishya Parampara, another term. Traditional teacher-disciple relationship. In Upanishadic period, where knowledge was transmitted orally from the Guru teacher to the Shishya student. Interaction, memorization, and spiritual discipline were main instruments. Three popular methods were Shravan, that is listening, Manan, contemplation or understanding, or Nididhyasan, that is application or experiential learning. Now, knowledge traditions. Some ancient Indian knowledge traditions are preserved only through Guru Shishya Parampara. That is the best way. The knowledge what we are disseminating today, we are trying to discuss today, that has been transferred to us from this Guru Shishya Parampara. Because in the very beginning, there were no technology or there were no pages or the papers, so knowledge was preserved only in the form of memorization. Music, dance, arts, painting, sculptures, skills, they are all passed to the next generation through Guru Shishya Parampara. Because music cannot be learned only by the books, dance cannot be learned by the books. So here you see that still this parampara continued, and in ancient time also in Gurukuls, father was also the guru of his son. Son and father were guru and shishya also. In some traditions also you find the same tradition is still continued in today. You see that Ustad Allah Rakha Khan, Ustad Allah Rakha tabla, and Ustad Zakir Hussain tabla. One is the son and one is the father. Ustad Allah Rakha is the father of Zakir Hussain. The father and son as Guru and Shishya. So this tradition is still continued. Popular other names are Krishna and Arjun, Drona, Eklavya, Arjun. Dronacharya is the Guru, Eklavya and Arjun are the Shishya, Ramanand and Kabir. So these duets or these two names are, one is the Guru, another Shishya, are the very popular in Indian knowledge traditions. You see Paramhans and Ramakrishna Paramhans and Swami Vivekanand, Nizamuddin Auliya and Hazrat Amir Khusro, Nanak and Bala and Mardana. So this is the peculiar tradition of Indian philosophy, where Guru and Shishya they did the marvelous things, and this continued even today. Gurukulam and Guru Shishya Parampara, here certain other names are there on your screen. You may pause the screen and you may have the glimpse of these specializations, famous disciples and the rishis and sages. Then Upadhyaya, another term. In Sanskrit, Upa means near and Adhyaya means study or lesson. So Upadhyaya signifies one who teaches specific lessons or a learned instructor. Some related terms are Guru, guides for spiritual, moral or holistic development. Acharya, head of institution, master teacher of the Gurukulam. There is a difference between Guru and Acharya. Then Upadhyaya, specialist teacher of specialized subjects. Then Shastri, master or expert of scriptures. So these are the terms, basically these are very important terms in knowledge traditions. Then Upadhyaya used in practice. For example, in Manusmriti, Guru gives spiritual and holistic knowledge, and an Upadhyaya teaches specific disciplines like the Vedas or rituals. In Mahabharata and Ramayana, you find the instances of Upadhyaya. priests, tutors or scholars specializing in a particular branch of knowledge. In Panini's Ashtadhyayi, you find the traces of the term Upadhyaya. He is defined as a teacher of grammar and linguistic sciences. And in Jaina and Buddhist text, you find the meaning of Upadhyaya as monastic teachers who used to live in the monasteries or the Bodh Vihars, or spiritual instructors who guide monks in scriptures and ethical conduct. So, here next term is the three yogas or the path to liberation. Meaning of the term yoga. One yoga is there which is associated with Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and another yoga is associated with the Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. That is one of the six philosophies of six schools of Indian philosophy: Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshik, Mimamsa, Vedanta. So, Sankhya is associated with yoga. The beauty of Indian philosophy or philosophical school is like that out of the six schools, the first school is the theory, another is the practical. Like Sankhya is the theory and yoga is its applied aspect. Nyaya is the theory and Vaisheshika is its applied aspect. In the same way, Mimamsa is the theoretical aspect and Vedanta is the practical aspects. So, one is theory, another is practical. So, in that way, we will try to discuss both the meanings of the yoga. So, here first we just have a glimpse of the yoga in the words of Lord Krishna. The word yoga comes from the Sanskrit root yuj, meaning to unite or to join spiritually. Yoga implies the union of the individual self, that's Atma, with the supreme reality, Brahma or Paramatma, when both are united. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna presents three principal paths, that is the Margas, or called as the three yogas, that lead to the realization of this union, that is Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga and Karma Yoga. In modern psychology, the implications of these three yogas are: the Jnana Yoga refers to the cognitive aspect of your human existence, Bhakti Yoga refers to the affective aspects where the emotive aspects is there, and Karma Yoga is concerned with the actions, that is the psychomotor aspects of what you study in the psychology. Then here you may see the Karma Yoga, the path of selfless action, and its main principle is perform duty without attachment to result, that is Nishkama Karma. Key practice is selfless service, duty, seva, surrendering fruits to God or submission towards God, and goal is purification of mind and liberation through action. In the same way, Bhakti Yoga refers to the path of devotion and love, and Jnana Yoga refers to the path of knowledge and the wisdom. Then again, according to the Patanjali Yoga, Patanjali was the founder of this school of yoga. Patanjali defines yoga as chitti vrit nirodha. That is, yoga is the cessation of the fluctuations of the mind. This means controlling the restless thoughts of the mind to attain inner stillness and realize the true self, that is the Purusha, consciousness. So, aim of Patanjali Yoga is to discipline body, mind and senses to attain Kaivalya, that is liberation, complete isolation of the self from material nature, that is Prakriti. It is a psychological and meditative system focusing on concentration, control and spiritual realization. Then Patanjali suggests the Ashtang Yoga, eightfold path of yoga, that is called the Ashtang. Why it is called the Ashtang? Because 8 angas are there that should be touched to the ground, or that is in what we do in the Surya Namaskar, where you see that from forehead to the 2 toes, that's forehead, hands or these elbows and the knees and the 2 toes. These 8 limbs should touch the ground. In that way, that is called the Surya Namaskar is completed here. So, Ashtang, where all these 8 angas or 8 limbs should be involved in that yoga. So, these are the terms you are all acquainted with: Yam, Niyam, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi. So, Ashtang Yoga is like that, and that is different from the Bhagavad Gita's 3 yogas. That is the philosophy and this is the applied aspect. So, 3 types of karmas there, another term. As dukkha are 3, karmas are also 3, and the Bhagavad Gita also defines, and many schools of Indian philosophy they believe, because this is the very nature of Indian philosophy, that we believe in the karma siddhant. Karma siddhant is because we believe in, as Indians, that there are 3 types of karmas. One is the sanchit karma, accumulated actions. What sanchit karma refers to? is the total accumulation actions, both good and bad, performed in the all past lives, what has been already spent, whose fruits are yet to be experienced. Still, we have not started realizing the fruits of our past karma, that is the sanchit karma. For example, once inborn talents, tendencies, or circumstances like being born into a particular family arise partly due to sanchit karma. Philosophical notes may refer. These karmas remain stored in the karmic account and may fructify in future births unless naturalized by knowledge or spiritual practice. So, these are already accumulated and we have not realized the fruits yet. Then another is the prarabdha karma, fructifying actions, those karmas whose fruits have been started to be realized. So, meaning is prarabdha karma is the portion of sanchit karma. Out of those sanchit karma, what we have already accumulated, some part of that sanchit karma have been started bearing their fruits, and we are realizing, we have started to realize the fruits of those, some part of the the sanchit karma, that is called the prarabdha karma, which has already begun to bear fruit and is responsible for the present birth and life circumstances. For example, the lifespan, body or major events, success, suffering, wealth or loss that one faces in this lifetime are effects of the prarabdha. Even an enlightened person's jnani continues to experience prarabdha karma until the body's lifespan ends, just as a moving arrow continues after being released. This is the symbolical example that has been given by the Vidwans. Sanchyaman or the Agami karma, that is yet to realize, that is current or future actions, that is called Sanchyaman. So, meaning of Sanchyaman karma refers to the action being performed in the present life whose results will be experienced in the future, either in this life or in the subsequent births. So, Sanchyaman karmas are in the hands of men, because prarabdha karma and sanchit karma are not in your hand. Whatever you have already, the life what has been passed, but sanchyaman is still you have some opportunity to mend the ways. If you just change or we change the way we are performing our actions, these karmas, if they are good, then we will realize the good fruits, otherwise the result is according to the karma. That is the karma siddhanta. So, sanchyaman is still in the hand. Acts of charity, service, deceit or violence done now, which will shape future circumstances. That's why the wise people says that our future depends on what we do at present. So, at present if you do the good things, then future is in our hand. So, everything what we are doing today, that will decide the future for us or for our next generation. That's why this aspect of Indian philosophy is very important. If these two karmas are not in our hand, but our future is in our hand. Future is not written in the lines of the hands. Just imagine a person who has lost his hand. So, what to speak about his future? So, it means future lies in the karmas what you are doing, not in the lines, not in the haath ki rekhaएं, rather in the actions what we do at present. So, that's why our future depends on what we do at present. That is the Sanchyaman karma. Now, the last term is the Ashtangik Marga, the Noble Eightfold Path. It is the fourth of the Four Noble Truths, representing the practical way to end suffering and attain nirvana. It provides a comprehensive moral, mental and spiritual discipline. So, Eightfold Path is a way what Mahatma Buddha, Lord Buddha suggests in order to get rid of the dukkha samudaya. That is, Mahatma Buddha says that everywhere there is sorrow. So, how to come out of this sorrow, dukkha samudaya? So, he suggests the three kinds of these categories, because Eightfold Path is some 8 categories are divided into 3 broad categories. One, the wisdom, that is pragya, pragya skand, and the morality, that is shil skand, and the concentration, that is samadhi, pragya, shil, samadhi. So, in wisdom part, samyak drishti, right view or understanding, understanding the Four Noble Truths and seeing things as they truly are. For example, recognizing that worldly possessions or relationships cannot bring lasting happiness. This is the samyak drishti. Then samyak sankalpa, right thought or right intention. For example, thinking with compassion rather than anger towards others. Then 2 are in the pragya, that is wisdom. Then morality, shil skand, second category. In shil skand, the third Ashtangic marg is there, samyak vak, right speech. For example, using speech to encourage and comfort others. Then fourth Ashtangik Marg is out of 8. Fourth is Samyak Karmanta, that is right action. Not only right speech, but the right action. For example, reading a life of non-violence and service. And then third one is the Samyak Ajiva, that is right livelihood. For example, choosing professions that promote welfare and compassion, such as teaching or meditation. Then last one is the concentration, that's Samadhi. Samyak Vyayam, right efforts, and Samyak Smriti, right mindfulness, and Samyak Samadhi, right concentration. So, now this is the end of this lecture. Some books are for your suggestions, and I just wind up this lecture with this beautiful lines of Mikhail Bakhtin. Truth is not born, nor it is to be found inside the head of an individual person. It is born between people collectively searching for truth in the process of their dialogic interaction. So, thank you very much for listening. See you in the next lecture. Thank you very much. God bless.